Hello, everyone. We're still waiting. We'll be waiting 2 more minutes so that everyone has a chance to join on time, and we'll start after that. In the meantime, don't get confused. We were just discussing. You can see on this slide this link for brand asset cards. This is not our topic today, but it's a useful tool that we've created some time ago to help creatives and strategy planners to build ads that are really effective. Because whenever you go beyond the logo, your effectiveness is bigger. We'll be talking about that a little. But our main topic today is AI generated ads, or very fully or partially. And we'll be tapping into that soon. We're still waiting like 2 minutes. So still time to get a water or coffee, which is risky. At least my coffee machine is not that relatable. Or no, what's the word for that? If you'd like, you can use the chat here, write something about yourself, perhaps your job, or what are you expecting to learn from this webinar. There's gonna be a first part when I'm gonna show you a couple of the ads that we measured, and after that, you're free to leave or stay for like Q&A. I have like up to 60 minutes, so if this is really interesting for you, you can then stay longer. But the first part will be 30 minutes, and you can ask with chat. I'll see if I can answer during that or later in the Q&A. So you can just put into the chat who you are, what's your expectation. So maybe I can mention something that I wouldn't mention otherwise. And I think it's 33. So let's start. And as I said, use chat, use those emojis to interact. The more interactive this is, the better. At the end, we're gonna have like a full Q&A session. You can ask with even like microphone or using a chat. Okay, here we go. So welcome to our webinar or on AI made ads. By that we mean ads that were fully or partially created with the use of generative AI models. And we were basically testing a couple of those most distinct ones that we've seen somewhere being discussed on LinkedIn, on winning some awards. And we were wondering how good they are performing, how they compare against the benchmarks, because we behavioral measure regularly a lot of ads in different countries. So here we took 6, or we took more of them, but I think those 6 were most relevant for like global public. And we'll see whether we'll be able to go through all of them. If you stay for the Q&A session, you can definitely ask to watch all of them, but at least through 3. We've tested each with 500 people, and I'm gonna show you how people react to that, to them, and whether they are effective. I'll start with this part. How do ads really drive sales, and how do you measure it, so that you can understand the methodology when I'm showing that. So I'll start with that, and here's the example. Here's the list of the ads we have here. So you can see that it's different countries, mostly US, but one is for Australian brand that we measured in Australia. One is we measured that in Germany, and we also tried to have a list that is a little bit different in how the AI is used. So Heinz is an example of the ad that is explicitly playing with the AI topic, and then Amazing and Motorola are something very ideally do not realize that this actually was made with AI. And then we have something like Semi, because eToro, Coca-Cola liquid, that were examples where this is obviously AI using the effects that are hard to attain in another way, but it's not like explicitly using the AI topic. It's just that you can guess. And our main questions were, how do these ads perform against normal benchmarks? can people actually tell that it was an AI made ad, and does knowing it's AI made ad make them like more or less, something like that. So we know how to use AI, whether fully or basically just hiding it. And just very briefly about me, I'm the CEO and co-founder of Behavior, where we de-risk ads with behavioral science, because what people say is not what people do. So asking people whether they will buy something after watching the ad is not the best way to do it. It's actually pretty harmful to the business because it's negatively correlating with sales. So there's better ways to measure that, and we're taking the new science on this and making tools on that. That's about us, and let's jump into the topic. To explain, there's two types of ads. Generally, there's in every industry only about 5% of people who are ready to buy now, who are actively looking for something, Googling it or whatever. And for those, the best ads is typically something that answers a lot of questions about what the product does, a lot of features, because they're willing to invest some mental energy into learning about the best product when they're actively buying right now. But that's just a very small percentage of the people who typically want to convert in long term. And then the vast majority of people are not shopping right now, and that means that they are not willing to read your features, not willing to pay attention. And basically, how you can get to them is with some very simple message and topic, and that's basically the performance versus brand ads. I know there's a lot of case studies with like AI being used in those performance ads to make more clicks for people who are ready to buy. Today, all the ads we selected are more into the brand direction. So I'm just saying that everyone understands what is the selection for today. It's brand ads, where the goal is basically when people who will be ready to buy in 2 weeks or 3 months, I'm top of mind, or this ad helps me to be top of mind, or the favorite solution. How does this work? Because this is getting us to how was the best way to measure that. It's basically you're building this mind share, this being top of mind in different buying moments that are relevant for the category by linking the brand in the memory through ads. So you have some memory structures, some neurons that are active when you want to buy fast food. Here we have Coca-Cola as one of the examples. So it can be different for hot summer day, it can be different for Christmas, and you want to connect slowly by different campaigns your brand to those important buying moments or benefits, and you are doing this building these links with ads. Now, how does it work? Basically, the principle we also use like kids for building for learning a language is neurons that fire together, wire together. So technically, if you have 30 seconds of the video spot and you just show the situation when people should think about your brand and the brand, there's already a link, a memory connection being built. The problem is that there's so many ads. We're so pissed off by watching all of them. We don't want to see any ad again, typically. So when we're watching TV and there's a commercial break, we go to the kitchen or check our smartphones. We're trying to skip most of the ads online. So that is why a third driver of ads effectiveness is needed, and that is emotion. Because when we feel emotion, happiness, so be scared, anything, or something is funny, we immediately pay more attention. We're much less likely to skip the ad, and also our memory building is on turbo at the time. So anything we see with high emotion, we remember more. And that is basically the main framework for predicting how those ads will work. You're measuring whether people are able to remember the need, after seeing the ads. You're measuring whether they are able to tell the brand, and you're measuring how they feel about this. And if any out of these three is very bad, the ad is wasting some of the money. And if those all three are great, then really for the same media spent, your awareness building, your top of mind building is much faster, much more effective. And that is how we also measure these ads. And I think that's enough about the theory. And let's jump into that. So the first one is static. That was an online campaign for Heinz ketchup. And as you can see here, it was obviously AI. They played with the team. And before I show you the results, would you maybe want to use emojis or the chat or even say it out loud? What do you think about this? Is this an effective campaign, especially in the perspective of those three things I was mentioning? Would this work in a wide reach campaign or not? So the emojis seem to be positive, some very, some less. There's first negative one. So I think mostly you're feeling that this should be effective. Anyone wants to comment on that? We can also have it later, but you can use the chat. Let me check if I can see the chat. Yeah, there's nothing. Okay, so let me switch to the platform. And it's not bad, but it's I would also be thinking it's more effective, or I was before I saw the results. Frankly, and most likely it's because we're all marketers. We're much more familiar with Heinz and their campaigns on the LinkedIn, maybe, I don't know. But what surprised me is actually what you can see here is the ranking. So this basically means that this ad is only better than 37% of ads on the US market in brand recall. It's much better it's better than 99% of ads in the category recall. In this case, that people understand it's ketchup. But it's also not as strong as I would say on emotion. People don't care as much. It's just so this is rankings. We can go into the detail here. You can see it was 55% of the people, only 55% of the people who've seen this ad were able to say it was for habits, which is again an example of somehow we marketers overestimated the strength of our brand codes, because apparently we think that the people will tell from the bottle shape or something here that it must be Heinz, but no, the general public is not as familiar with that, and you should be one easy fix here would be to make the logo bigger, whatever, but it didn't work as well. The need is clear as well, but let's look into the emotional part. So it was only 50% of people actually like the ad, which is way below average. And here you can see that the negative reactions were also quite strong. We can read here the reasons, and I don't think we have time to go through all of them, but I was checking that there's AI mentioned often as the positive reason, but it's also way more often mentioned here with the negative part. So what we can learn from this is at least when you do something explicitly about AI, it's very controversial, because there's part of people who like it, but there's more people who are actually the percentage of the people who are mentioning AI as spontaneously as a reason why they don't like it is pretty high. So it's definitely not for an ad that at least it's going to be controversial. And as you can see also, the overall emotion with that is not as high. So it's perhaps not a way, or at least this one here, how to get the best emotional ad. We don't have that much time, so I'll skip to the next. If you have any comments on that, feel free to say it out loud or in the chat, or later we can get back to it in the Q&A. The next ads is going to be the video ad from Australia, and I'll play it first before we talk more about it. Let me switch here.
This is the story of how a family escaped their pricey telco. It begins with a woman trying a eSIM and getting 120 gigs of data for just $35 every renewal for 12 renewals. Then she quietly thought to herself, that's a good deal. So she told her husband. Now he streams more sport and pays less. Then she told her parents. Now they get legendary service and pay less. Then she told her son. He didn't reply, so she signed him up anyway. And now we've told you. So escape your pricey telco with a eSIM.
So this is an example of the ad that I think that the goal is that people shouldn't realize that this is with AI. This is basically, as you can see, it was basically created by in-house team of 2 people within 2 weeks. So it's definitely something you want to do. If this ad is going to be effective, that's a very good message because it saves a lot of time and money. So here, what is your opinion on that? Will this be better or worse than the last one? Here we have, yeah, it seems you're saying better. And let's see what we're going to have here. Oh, sorry, I can't. Oh, okay, sure. So it's better. Definitely an emotion. Again, I was quite surprised. How is it possible that it's not super strong in branding? Because I would say that this is a great example of how to do branding with all those colors. I think the only reason here is that it's a new brand, so the people don't associate the color yet with the brand. But if they keep going with this, it would be much more better because it was so prominent, the color. So what I would suggest here with the branding, it's still putting the logo maybe in the corner at every part of it. So even at moments like this is more recognizable. Also here, it seems that there's too many things. When the logo is here, there's too many words. So somehow deciding about the moments where you have the message and the logo could work as well, because apparently people couldn't take everything out of it. So, but I think overall, if you keep repeating this, the color will become more associated, and then this is a very well branded, or the way how to brand ads actually. The need, I think what's the problem here is still that there's a little bit too many messages here. The good way to go is really to double down, repeat that much more, because this is the branded, it's not performance ad, so the people don't know that much. They're listening, with half their brain basically. So again, making the message a little bit more clear. But again, this is fixable. This is not saying anything about the creative concept. I would say this would be easily, this is what we do often with clients. Ads like this can be easily brought to the green colors, the green ranking with just a couple of edits in the post-production. What's important here is the emotion, which is way above average here. And as you can see here, the good thing, this interesting thing is that people are really not mentioning. There was no mention of AI, so I think they either didn't realize it or they didn't care. And I'll then show you the table which I made. If there's some pattern between the emotion and people mentioning AI, we'll look into that. So here, what people really are mentioning are basically the problem. It solves some problems. People like how it feels. There's much less people who are against that. And again, no AI was mentioned here. Most likely people didn't tell at all. You can also look here, what were the reasons why people hated it. Well, some of the people apparently don't like looking at men sitting at the toilet, but it was minor. Okay, So that was this one. I think that one is saying that this is the way to go, basically using the AI in a way for a type of creatives where people won't guess as much that it's AI. And this is apparently making it much faster, cheaper, and a thing. And when you have a good idea, great creative, and you take care about branding and it's good to go. Okay. I think the last one I'm going to show you now in this first part of the webinar, and then I'll have some remarks on what we've seen as a pattern. And then if you want to see the other ones, the Coca-Cola, the Liquid Death, the Motorola, feel free to have the discussion later. So the last one is eToro. This is ad that was last year aired in 47 countries at the Olympics time. So it was like an Olympic time ad, and we measured this on the US public. So here you go.
Oh, we didn't see the ad.
Sorry. I forgot to switch. So
Perfect.
Thank you for this. And we're replay this again.
Thanks.
Who am I? I'm the one who can be 100 different investors all at once. With eToro, I can be Grace, a global tech investor. Or Max, a German local stock specialist. I could be Jan, a passive dividend hunter. Hey, I could be David. This David. With eToro, you can be inspired by investors worldwide. Their knowledge, their strategies, all out there for the taking. Be the investor you want to be. eToro.
So this is, I think we chose this ad as something that is more typical with AI ads, and that is somehow showcasing what AI generative models can do. So it's like more obvious that AI is used. What do you think? Again, let's compare this to the previous one. Will this score better or worse than the previous one? Worse, yeah. Worse, where some say better, some say don't know, but mostly it's worse. And you are right. Let me switch to the platform again. I was actually surprised how bad this is. And I think there's more, there's a lot of reasons that stack up, because first the emotion, as I was checking, there's partially people don't like investing, some of them didn't like it, it was woke. There was a lot of mentions of the AI in this case. And so it's like more reasons to that. With branding, I think the reason that, again, this is quite a small brand is making it worse, but it doesn't make that you should do it this way. If you're a small brand, it's much more harder for people to spot your logo. We tested it once that we took the same picture and put logos of different companies, bigger or smaller ones, or like famous and non-famous ones. Just show it for 2 seconds and then tested the brand recall. And there was a clear correlation. If you're a big brand, you can just put the logo in a corner or somewhere people will remember. If you're a small brand like eToro is, still, you cannot count on people like spotting your logo here. So for example, I think we don't have a attention layer here. Sorry, let me switch here. I have another view. Share this tab instead. And here I have the attention layer as well. And as you can see here, most people are looking typically at the faces. So one way to make your branding higher is to, and we've seen some ads that are super great in this, and they're getting into 90th percentile with that. When there's a face, you just put the logo close to it at least, and you just want to have it really at every second there, because for smaller brands, when they want to build awareness, it's even more important for the overall result whether the branding is good or not, because you can have the best emotion here, But for small brands to build your awareness, you just have to be very like over branded, basically, which eToro is not. When they have a logo, it's they suppose that the people, but as you can see, it's totally out of the attention here. So that's branding. The need, it's really just 43% of people could tell the category that is investment platform, which is one of the worst results we've ever measured. And it's not much better with the other like associations here. Let's go to the emotion. Again, it's quite bad. The same as we saw with the catch-up. There's, I think, uses AI generated people instead of real people. So basically, all the mentions of AI here were negative, not positive. And so it's a combination of basically people not liking, some of the people not liking the category at all. Some of them, there's also another interesting view here. You can see that AI is mentioned even here at the moment. Like what we do is first we measure the emotion, and then we replay the parts when people change their emotion, and we ask for an association. So some of the associations for the reasons of the negative emotion here was woke, was perhaps fast transition, I don't know, or that AI transition here, AI. So it's basically mentioned here. So what we could see that the comparison for the previous ad is basically if you make it more like evident that it's AI, it's making it worse. And in this case, also there was too many messages. The overall concept wasn't that great, and the branding was weak. So this is not a way to go. Okay, before we go to the rest, let's wrap some of the findings here. As you can see here, I was counting the percentage of the mentions of AI, whether they were positive and negative. So all the time it was just negative. There was a couple of positive with Heinz, but there was much more of those negative ones. And in the case of eToro and Liquid Death, we also can watch later if you want to stay longer. It's mostly negative. So from that, I would say that what you want to do with generative AI is create something that people want to tell it's AI. So you don't want to play with the topic. At least it's controversial. There's a lot of people who just are scared of AI or have some environmental issues with that or something like that. So it's better to use AI like in a hidden way, basically to do something that looks like real shoots. Also, there's, as you can see, the best ads. I haven't yet shown the Coca-Cola, but it's the best performing on emotion. They were both the cases that were like seen as least in professional. Again, this seems to be correlating with how people tell that this is AI. So the least unprofessional also had that, but this is not any strong correlation. We just have a couple of examples, so not for strong conclusions here, but still some patterns can be visible. So yeah, so that is I think the overall conclusion. As you can see here, whenever you do ads, I think the most important is to brief for those three drivers. So we want to have something that people really feel strongly about, positively mostly. You want to have strong brand recall. This is great with the generative AI. There are new ways. You could see that with the color. In the Amazon case, AI ads can be easily, strongly branded. And I think there's a huge opportunity in doing that. So far, most of the AI ads that were going viral on LinkedIn were in that case, but there's a huge opportunity in that. And the last one is always make it clear what you are good for, when people should think about you, especially when you're a small brand. Coca-Cola, people mostly already know, But if you're still building your awareness, this is key, because people can know your logo, but when they don't know when to think about you, it won't have an impact on their buying decisions. That's it. Yeah, basically we were showcasing something from ad testing, but all the other two parts can be de-risked with market tracking, when you can know what is the best message, what is the occasion you should target, the least taken by the big companies. You can also measure in brand tracking not just your awareness, but you can measure colors, you can measure sounds, anything that helps you build your brand. And in the case of the Amazon, we could clearly see that the color is not yet distinctive, so you know that still you need to use the logo along with that. Later, you can see that the color already is being clearly connected to your brand. So that is something you can now measure with brand tracking, and that helps you build overall the effectiveness higher and higher. And we have a first question here, so that gives us naturally shift us to the Q&A part. So whoever needs to tune out now, thank you for your attention, and please now ask. I'm happy to talk or show more ads that we have measured. So please, who was already lost?
Hi, it's Misha.
Yes. Hello.
Hi, I just wanted to ask you, because you told us that it's probably better to not tell that it's AI-generated commercial, but in the other way, probably in a close future, the legal will make us to admit it. So what do you think about it?
Sorry, what was it? Who will make us to admit it?
That from the legal point of view, we probably will have to admit that it's AI-generated.
Yes. Well, I guess you will have to do, because you don't have to have problems with the legal. But it will not change that the people will like it. That the thing that you're obligated to do that. So it will be actually the new kind of dilemma that you have. You can save a lot with shooting that with AI, but on the other hand, if you imagine that you will have the two exactly same looking shots, and footage, the one that will have this made by AI would be immediately having a little bit worse emotion. So you will be balancing that, how much you save and how much worse emotion you can afford. Unfortunately,
probably the saving part will win, I guess.
Pierre.
Hey everyone. Thanks for the presentation. I'm more from the performance side of things. So for me, it's a lot of things I learned today, which is great. And usually we think of brand marketing a little bit less. Today you showed me that it can be actually scientific and methodologic and cool. So my question would be, what's the methodology behind you guys? So how do you measure what they think, what's their emotion, frame by frame, and all that?
Yes, great question. Thank you. So it's different for different metrics. So for example, the brand recall is measured, the second by second is measured. Before we play the whole ad to the 500 sample here, we basically play random snippet of the video to each of the respondents. So there's part of them that see just the first 3-5 seconds. Some of them see just the middle part. And then they are supposed to type down the brand that this was for. And with AI, it's automatically creating it into this curve. So we know that at the beginning, the people who saw that moment only were able to tell in 90% that it's this brand. And this really allows us, because there's a third part, a lot of studies on that. It's called branded attention. The longer is this branded attention, the more the memory is being built. And especially when this aligns with the emotional moments, I will just get into how we measure emotion quickly. So those emotional moments are those we remember the most. So ideally, what you want to do is have those peaks aligned. Ideally, it's just 90% all the time. It's really hard to attain, but with AI, it's going to be easier with all those colors and possibility of branding. So that's how we measure the brand and also the need. The need is prompted, but it's similar. They first see the random moment, and then we measure this implicitly, which is basically showing them combination of those prompts, and we measure how fast they're able to tell that. Because if they're thinking too long, it's like overthinking when doing survey. But what we want to measure is what is already in the memory, which has to be really fast, because that is the part of memory that is presented in our fast decisions. Is the system one that 95% of those decisions are really fast. And emotion, it's measured like, if you know how, I'm not sure whether they still do this, but Facebook live videos, where you basically have emojis and you're sending them into the video, you see them going there. And here, when you have 500 people, this is starting to look like EEG curves, which is when you put electrodes on the brain. It's half a second delayed, but basically we won a lot of clients by retesting their neuromarketing results, because this is more scalable. You can have much more people, and we cannot do this with 50 people. That would be much, because they don't click as often as whatever you measure with electrodes. But when you have the sample enough, it's the effect of the big numbers that this emotional curve is pretty similar to the EEG, and it's faster. You can filter to different groups of people, and you can also have this word cloud here. I already mentioned that. So after they have this ad played with the emojis, they go back and they type down the association from that moment when they click the good or the negative emoji. Was that clear, or do you want me to expand on that?
So you don't put any electrodes on people's head?
No. But the good thing is that the peaks are similar. Yeah.
So if I understand correctly, it's like focus groups, and then you ask some questions, show some stuff, and you ask them to click and type what they think, what if they remember what it is for, if they know what brand it was, stuff like this.
Yes, or we measure how fast they're doing that as well. That is important.
All right.
Focus groups, I think the typically what is called focus group is more like qualitative, which is like less people in the group. But this is like, let's say, big online focus group with 500 people that are, unless typical focus groups, it's really representative to either the national population or the target group we want. So you have by quotas, by gender, by region, the sample is really the same as the population you want to measure. Yeah. And the reason here why, what the big difference here is not whether you do that by surveys, it's whether you ask in some way. What I was mentioning at the beginning, there's a lot of ads were measured by a thing called purchase intent, which is basically something like, after seeing this ad, you say you're more likely to buy the thing. And that is very dangerous to do, because people are more likely to say yes when there is more product information or fresh info, less when they just feel great about the ad, because they're like, okay, this was a great ad, but I'm not going to buy the product. But our memory is what really predicts the buying decision. So basically, brand building is not about making your brand a loved brand or persuading them. It's more about making your brand easy to think of in the moment, because we're so overwhelmed that when you want to buy a car or a beverage, it's still like you only consider a couple of brands, and within this set, you're making some more rational decisions, but you won't be checking all the car brands or whatever. And how you get into this set of like the salient brands is by basically building these memory connections with the emotion. So it's not that much about so that's why it's important to measure it in this way, because this is the measuring, let's say, the right stuff in the brain, even though through surveys. Okay, thanks for this question. Anyone else? Do you want to watch this liquid that was the fan one? Okay, there's a couple more. let me ask about the other. There's Coca-Cola as well. Would you have better emojis for that? That's like last, so liquid death is preferable. Okay, let's look at this one. Sorry, at that.
It's liquid death.
Sorry, I again
Good
forgot
afternoon,
to
son.
switch.
Want to take a guess why I pulled you over? Oh, it's not what you think. It's liquid death. There's sparkling mountain water. Wow, you weren't kidding. That is refreshing. But it's not why I pulled you over. Oh boy. Is it the busted taillight? Nuh-uh. Is it because of the license plate? Nope. Shit, man, it's the dead guy, right? No, sir. Is it the human trafficking, perhaps? Nuh-uh. Man, is it the truck thing? I don't think so. Well, what is it then? The robbery? No. The bumper sticker? No. It's the roadkill, isn't it? Haven't heard of it. The chemical waste? Nuh-uh. Is it the roller coaster seat? Is it the cult thing? Absolutely not. Hell no. All right, I give up. What is it? It's because it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Kevin. Dad, you remembered. Happy birthday to you. You're the best dad ever. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, so this was actually not made
Good
by
afternoon, son.
Liquid Death, but by, it was a bandmate one. I think I saw the post on LinkedIn when they had like 4,000 likes or something. Marketers were really loving it. So what do you think? What about the generally US public? How great will this rank? It seems that you think it's going to be good. Let's check that. Oh no, I have a bad link here. Sorry. So let me switch here. Here we are. That's good. So this is something you could expect that people weren't able to tell what this is for, because still Liquid Death is something is a brand that is not as it's very famous on LinkedIn, not super famous still on the in the whole population in the US. So there was a lot, basically just 30% of people were able to tell that this was for a sparkling water. With branding, it was a little bit better. Oh no, it was actually even worse in terms of the spontaneous brand recall. It was good at the beginning, but overall it wasn't enough. But I think the most important, of course, is this emotional part. What you can see here, I think, is there's actually quite a lot of people who love the ad, like 24%. That's good. That's good. That's above average, definitely. This strong emotion. But really, again, 25 people actively disliking the ad is way too much. And as you can see here, again, I was counting here the AI mentions. So they were mostly negative, though I don't think it was the main reason here. I think it was the way of the humor that a lot of people are not ready for this kind of, unfortunately. So as you can see here, of the maladies, corruption, evil in the world, glamorizing this thing. So there's a lot of people who are not fans of this humor. So it wouldn't be a good campaign to air on TV or do some wide reach with that. But still, I think actually those guys made a great job of presenting themselves as those. It was some marketers from New York, but not connected to the brand. So I think they actually made a great advertising for themselves as someone who can do great creative. And so strategically, it was great for them to do this. It wouldn't be good for Liquid Death to adopt this ad and air it. Okay, what do you think about that? Any questions? Should I play more the Coke, or is there also a YouTube link to the Amazing spot, please? Yes, there is. I can share both the link to the results and, there is my colleagues here who are on the call. Could you please share the link here into the Yeah, we'll send it with the email after the webinar. Okay. Any more questions? I still have 2 more ads that I can play if you want. The Motorola one and the Coke one.
Coke was liked.
Sorry, Coke?
The Coke one was the one with the best emotions. So maybe we can have an example.
Okay, let's look at this. Maybe I can already show you in the platform with the curves. No more surprise here. Okay, let me play. How did you like it? This is actually quite old. This is I think it's maybe already 2 years old. It was before we all could knew what is possible with AI. They were the first one to use it. It was just partially with AI. I think most of the shots from gallery were also like professional. So this is definitely not a cheap ad. Yeah, but it shows what you can do with the motion. Like branding is easy for Coke, much easier. You just, but also like some of the big brands don't make the product the center of the ad. Then also it's not that easy. But when you have the whole creative idea around your product, around the bottle, it can work. Though I would still say here that this is a problem because still most people are tuning out at the beginning. So this is, I think, the edit could work because most of the metrics, I think even the emotion is building up slowly. So I think they should have like cut this faster at the beginning because there's still, even when this is so great, there's still people that will tune out and then they won't know that they've seen the ad and it's a lost opportunity. Not to remind your brand and memory, but that's like a minor thing. When we look into the emotion, again, no one was mentioning AI here, so people don't care. It was just great how this was used. So this was a case where apparently this is hard to do without it, but the people don't know that, maybe then don't know what was possible to do in After Effects and Photoshop. So they just like the thing, how it's going. And this is absolutely superb. 40% of this super strong emotion, that is something that is rarely to be seen. So whenever you have a big budget, great creativity, you can, yeah, you can use this. I think partially it was also because it was one of the first ads. No, but we've measured it recently, so it still has the effect until today. We can see what people love about it. Art inspiring, brands and brand together. So much time and effort put into it. So I think people like to think apparently that the ads should take effort. I think they like the art, so it's also you're linking yourself to something that people already love, which is a good thing to do. Very unique music. I was I was thinking that it's a little bit too long, that it's like maybe going to be repeated, but no. When an ad wears out, you typically see the positive emotion going slowly down and the negative emotion going up. But people say too long, boring. But you can see there were people like this, but it wasn't much of them. So actually, maybe it was a good thing to have it as long as this was. Okay, any question? Do you want to see some detail here, or play the last one, the Motorola, before we end? We still have a couple minutes. Or more questions? Anything? Let me know. Great ad for in the cinemas, though. I think that. Sorry, I'm only reading now, so I don't know. But
That was the Coke one.
Yeah,
it's. I was just joking around a little bit about the slow beginning, but still, I mean, it's a great ad. And
oh yeah, yeah, you're right, totally. If that was for cinema, no one can leave. So in that case, it's totally appropriate to start a little bit slower. Yeah, you're right. So there's more questions. How does it legally work for AI-driven agencies which use well-known brand to create an ad without the brand agreeing to? Yeah, actually, I don't have. If anyone knows here, please answer that. If there's a problem, I think I think you cannot use logos legally, so they can technically sue you if they feel that you're using it to support your own business. In this case, I think one could argue that this was to support their own brands as creative people. So I think there could be some case for that. But also, I think the company like Liquid Death wouldn't do that, because everyone would be like, hey, why guys are doing that? They were like fans doing the video. So I think they wouldn't sue you, but technically I would guess that it's possible that you're not allowed to do that. But not illegal. I'm not a lawyer, so yeah. Thank you. So yeah, maybe I know you're leaving. If you can, just let me, before you leave, drop me a message here whether this was useful, or you it didn't meet your expectations. That would be good for feedback. Whatever we create next as a webinar, we always want to learn. So please. And yeah, any more questions? Those of you who are still staying, would you like to see the last ad or not, or you have to go already? There's still some people wanting the last ad, so I think yeah, if I'm happy to play it for 2 people, so yeah, I'll do that. Okay. Oh, okay. Let me play it in the platform immediately, because again, no more surprises. So we're not going to end with the best one. Let me first play it, and then I'll ask a question, because I actually spotted the thing only and like seeing it for the 3rd time. My question is, have you realized that those dresses were actually supposed to recreate the Motorola logo?
No, in the end, yes, but
yeah. So there were some of you did. It wasn't the case of the consumers. Definitely, as you can see here, this is the case. There was a logo shown, and then the beginning maybe someone did, but this was the part where most of them didn't get it. I think that kind of also has the effect on the emotion, because when people don't get it, they're like, okay, so this is just a boring ad. So I think they kind of overestimated, again, the idea here. Maybe there is a way how to make it more visible, not sure, but I'm really a fan of this code play, using your logo or any brand codes creatively, but I didn't myself get it. So thumbs up, like yeah, how to say, great that some of you were able to spot it, but yeah, it's a tricky idea. And here again, the people on the other hand weren't able to tell this is AI, so that's good. Then they were mentioning it. I think the reason why they didn't like it wasn't connected to AI here. Let's see. Nothing to do with phones. You don't recognize what is being advertised until the end. That's the case. So it's boring, I think. Yeah, so most of the reason here is that people just don't feel the vibe. This is actually quite unique to have the negative reactions stronger than the positive in most of the time. So not relevant. It's connected to the thing that people wouldn't realize the connection to the logo. So I think this concept is creative, but is apparently, it would be better for some like smaller target group who is more into the like LinkedIn marketers who like this and who are able to tell, not for fast-paced, overwhelmed consumers who don't have time to realize such details. Yeah. Okay, so also what this says is, if you do the craft well, I would say, so which is, it looks good, it looks almost like it was shot in real time, there's no more creativity that people like, it doesn't help as well. Yeah, so that's it. And yeah, any more questions? Thank you for your reactions. I'll read through all of them. Was there some more question? Doesn't seem like it. So okay, we're almost at the end of the time. So thank you so much. If you wanna check out for like behavior, we're doing something similar with, as I mentioned, with helping you find the proposition as well, and helping you to measure the brand, going beyond just, you know, the rational part, but also measuring the other parts of memory. So whenever you feel that your client or someone would need that, we'd be happy to see you at the demo. And yeah, we're doing webinars like this, I think once a month. In a month, I think I'll be doing a webinar on how to own the moments, why neat codes matter. And that will be, I'm really looking forward to that. It will be about how to create those visual sound cues that are connecting you to specific needs that are important for you. And we'll be showing how some brands grow really fast through that. So make sure you follow up our website, our LinkedIn page as well, so that you wouldn't miss this webinar. I'm really looking forward to what we're gonna show there. So thanks so much, and see you soon, hopefully. Have a great day. Have a great day. Bye. Bye. Thanks. Thanks a lot for all this.